Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Njue. I'm a certified fundraising executive and a proposal development consultant. And here we talk all about fundraising and how to grow our organizations. And I have a mission, and my mission is to equip you with the skills and the resources that you need to grow your organizations, to attract funding, to secure funding so that you can have greater and greater impact with your work. Today's session, I'm going to be responding to a question I was asked by someone, and the question is, how did I become a proposal development consultant? So I will attempt to answer that question with the hope of also inspiring someone who probably wants to pursue that line. So I hope you learned something from my story. I'll try to keep it very brief. To start with, let me say that there was really no structure. I wouldn't say it's something that I had aspired to become. So I would say I became a proposal development consultant by chance. But my story begins when I got an opportunity to work for a network organization. And one of my responsibilities was to, I think I've seen this so many times, one of my responsibilities was to raise resources or to fundraise and resource mobilize, which was not easy for me. It was quite tough. But also during that time, because I was very new in the fundraising space, I spent a lot of time writing proposals that of course were not funded. But I also, a lot of the network organizations also gave me a lot of work in terms of writing proposals, because they also thought resource mobilization and fundraising was all about writing proposals. So I wrote so many proposals, and this is how I think I fell in love with writing. So even when I went ahead with my career in the project work, I remember even being a project manager at some point, I really volunteered a lot of my time to writing proposals because I had written so many in my previous job. So I would just volunteer myself to compile proposals, and then there would be, it would make me feel so good whenever it was successful. And that's how I even got into consultancy, to opening up my consultancy firm to write proposals, because I realized it was a skill that not so many people people don't like writing, if I may put it. Not many people, I think, like writing. So I was able to develop a niche for myself as a proposal development consultant. I don't know whether that is inspiring, but what I would like to share with you is, if you're interested in becoming, pursuing this line, what are some of the skills that you really need to have? I guess that could be important to someone. One of the things that you must love doing is research. So as the consultant for proposal development, you realize there's a lot of research work to be done. You just have to love research. So for example, I write a lot on development work, which cuts across different sectors. You could be writing a proposal that is multi-sectoral, so it has aspects of health, it has aspects of education, it has aspects of food security, climate change, disaster response. And for you to put all this together, it means you really have to be open to learning and researching. So you spend a lot of time, like I spend a lot of time researching when I get before I start writing, understanding concepts, understanding best practices in the different areas. So you must, if you don't like research, then this may not be your area. The other thing is that I guess with the research, you must also like reading. So for example, when there's a call for proposal, there's a request for funding, you realize there are so many documents, like the big donors tend to release very huge calls for proposal, or rather huge documents, a lot of policies to read. So you have to read all these things and synthesize. And there's always a tendency to think maybe your client or the organization that has given you the work has read, but I came to realize that in many cases they actually do not read. So it's your responsibility to really read and understand. And I found myself in a situation where I've come into an organization to support them, and then I go through the request for funding, and then usually when I go through it, I will pick the key points. I want to understand that the organization is eligible, it meets all the criteria, that the team is working on the different components of the requirements, and you'll find at times some things had been missed out. So it's important that you take the responsibility of reading that RFQ like it is your own, business, reading the policies, understanding. So research, reading, you must love that to start with. The other thing, of course, you must be willing to do a lot of critical thinking, because you help as a proposal development consultant. Many times I'm also involved in designing the project, because before you start writing, the project has to be clear. You have to see the logic, you have to see the problem, the strategy, you have to be clear on the outcome. So there's a lot of logic flow, and that comes with critical thinking. You're not doing it alone, but it's important to develop skills to facilitate such sessions. So you need to understand M&E components very well. You need to understand how to write problem statements. So research, a bit of research here, but again, applying it very critically to come up and to design a project. Organizational skills. You need to be very organized, because there's a lot that goes on into these RFQs and proposal development. There's a lot of requirements in many cases. As you're writing maybe the technical component, there's the budget, there are administrative documents required, there's a capacity statement. So you need to be sure that everything is going on, depending on different organizations. Some have very good teams where you work as a team and different people are doing different things. So what is required is for you to just have probably, keep checking on them. Let me put it that way. Keep checking on the whole team. And that's where the other skill comes in, coordination skills. You need to be able to coordinate the whole team to make sure that we are all at par, we are progressing, and so that you don't finish your technical component and then you realize the other components are not lagging behind and you're not able to meet the deadline. So you must also bring in your coordination skills, call in meetings. And so for me, what I do to help me get organized and coordinate better, I use a proposal planner. I have designed a proposal planner, which again you can access. I guess I'll leave a link where you can access the proposal planner if you're interested to see. It helps you to keep track of everything, to be organized, to keep the team aware of where we are, and if you're lagging behind, we are able to track that as well. And of course, you need good communication skills. You have to communicate with different stakeholders, with the team members. In some cases, you are doing these proposals or with partner organizations, with the government team involved. So a lot of partners, you have probably the international office. There are many partners that come into play. You must be able to communicate well as a consultant. And in many cases, you are, they see you as an authority. There's more respect as and so you have to also hone your skills so that they recognize and they feel that you are really bringing in value to their organization. So how you communicate, very critical. Of course, you must be having very good writing skills, and I think this is where you really have to invest a lot of time to practice. Because for me, I found I learned to write through a lot of practice. Even if you have a skill, if you're not using it, you'll not be able to, really specialize in it or to be very good in it. So you need to invest a lot of time in terms of writing, writing, whatever form of writing you are in. Volunteer your skills. If you are in an organization currently, maybe in a non-profit, it's a proposal to be written, just volunteer and even if not for the whole proposal, at least contribute, write. Just practice writing. Now, there are many other things I can share. Of course, you must be willing to work under a lot of pressure. That's one thing you must know. There's pressure. So if you're not well organized, if you don't plan your work well, you may find yourself in a lot of trouble, but there's pressure for sure, a lot of pressure. But I guess we are used to pressure. I know there's pressure in many areas. It's not just proposal development. So anyway, so those are some of that's what I would share with you. I've had a lot of success stories in terms of writing proposals. Unfortunately, I may not be able to share a lot of information because of data protection. I can't mention organizations here and all that, but it is a field that I have found joy. And if you feel it's an area that you're interested in, I would really encourage you to pursue it. Of course, being a consultant comes with its own advantages and disadvantages, of course, but we focus on the advantages. And for me, a key advantage is your flexibility. It's your ability to own your time. So if you're interested, pursue it. Pursue your goals, pursue your dreams. Do not be discouraged. And we are here to support you. I am here to work with you. You can always reach out to me if you really need any kind of support. I'll be more than happy to help you to achieve your goals in whichever way I'm able to. Just a reminder, I do offer a course on how to write award-winning proposals. This is also an opportunity for you to hone your skills in writing proposals. So yeah, I'll leave the link below. Feel free to check it out. It's a free masterclass that you can do and learn a lot. Thank you so much for keeping it here. Kindly subscribe to your channel if you have not subscribed. Kindly do subscribe. This keeps us going, and also turn on your notification so that you can be able to receive any alerts. You can receive alerts for our new videos. Thank you.